Buddy, how's it going? Richard Hart here. Congratulations on some awesome prices. I think Hex has been around 32 cents the last couple days. And my top call on Bitcoin has been in profit for 8.5 months now. Only a single day was it out of profit, a little tiny bit for the Judas candle that got people long, and then it immediately dumped and got them wrecked. We got great news. The PulseX.info sacrifice phase for supporting freedom of movement and freedom of assembly. Now, people don't know what those words mean. The difference between prison and not prison is where you get to go and who you get to hang out with. And if someone controls where you get to go and who you get to hang out with, you're kind of in prison. So it seems illegal, and false imprisonment is even a crime. Kidnapping is a crime. And so if there's people controlling your freedom of movement without due process of law, it should be illegal. Those guys should pay a penalty for doing that, because I'm here to make the people free. I'm here to empower the people, make you healthy, wealthy, and wise, and rich and happy, and make all your dreams come true if I can. Which is why I give away free books, t.me/scivive. I give away free coins, hex.com, pulsechain.com. And now there's going to be more free coins given out at pulsex.com for people that sacrifice for this political statement at pulsex.info. Now, what can you sacrifice? A lot of stuff. Most people, I think there's $120 million that have been sacrificed so far. So we can go look at the website real quick. Let's go to pulsex.com. And yeah, it's $128 million sacrifice so far. Now, these numbers are only the Ethereum chain numbers. These do not include other chains that are supported and just recently supported as of like an hour or two ago, maybe 3 hours ago. That would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. I'm sorry, not Ethereum. That's already 128 million in. Litecoin, Bitcoin, Monero, Theta, tons of stuff. Tron, Binance, Binance Chain, Binance Smart Chain. I mean, I guess I'll click the link here. So it looks like got $18.5 million of Ethereum sacrificed, $12 million of USDC stablecoin, $3 million of Tether, $1.5 million of DAI. People are sacrificing SHIB. There's $300K of that in there. Crypto.com, Chainlink, wrapped Bitcoin. There's $100K in there. I know $100K on Monero came in so far in just like an hour or two. And let's go to pulsex.info. Now look, if pulsex.info doesn't load for you, just put a www in front of it, because some people tried to access it a long time ago when the DNS wasn't propagated yet, and then the DNS servers around the world have to update. So if pulsex.info doesn't load for you, just go to www.pulsex.info. What else is here? Avalanche, Polygon, Matic, Ethereum Optimism, Ethereum Classic. Let's look at some more stuff. I was just really going to check to see if the address is valid. What a smart system. Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Dogecoin, EOS, Ripple, Stellar, Terra, UST, Zcash, and then a ton of coins on some of these chains. So the EVM chains, they have a lot of coins on them, and then a bunch of those coins are supported. So yeah, it's awesome. If you're locked into a coin that there's not a lot going on, and you want to sacrifice it for something good and maybe get some free coins that could become very valuable, PulseX is going to be the most liquid exchange on the Pulse chain, because an automated market maker price fixer bot at the first transaction goes and harvests all of the liquidity, nearly all of the liquidity on the PRC20s from SushiSwap, Uniswap, hopefully ZeroX, as many markets as you can program in there. And it does that because, on the Pulse chain, the supply is 1 million times higher than Ethereum. And that's given to the sacrificers. And so when you have 1 million times higher market cap because of that, you have to equalize all the market caps to make the ratios and the exchanges seem reasonable. And so now you have to 1000x, you have to basically million x the prices. In order to do that, it mints some pulse, which really isn't that much. I mean, original estimate was maybe 6% of total supply, but now I think it may only be the square root of 6%. I think it may be about 2.25% that may be necessary to mint to, in effect, purchase or adjust upwards a millionfold the price in market cap terms of all the PRC20s that it can, or the ones that make sense anyway. If it's a scam PRC20, you know, that's not worth the bot's time. And then it deposits all that liquidity in the PulseX exchange, and then 21 or 22% of fees could be burnt. The fee would be 0.29% instead of the industry standard 0.3%, so the users are getting a better deal. And then there's a 0.01% that of the total trade that goes to an address you can't have any expectations of. And as usual, in anything that I'm involved with, you have to have no expectation of profit from the work of others. It's an important legal thing. So it's also wonderful to get your airdrops at zero value. Not a tax advisor, but it may mean that you don't owe any tax on your airdrop, which is pretty cool. Let's check out chat here. Is there anything else we have to cover? I guess we could go look at Bitcoin and Ethereum prices real quick. So BTC USD and ETH USD are sitting at 47K on Bitcoin and 3740 on Ethereum. Yep. I still believe that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to go down a lot. I still think the top is in, and my top call has been in profit 8.5 months with a single day not in profit. So yeah, just everyone already bought is my opinion. So new awesome things like Pulse Chain, PulseX, I think are going to be wonderful and change everything. And look at Hex outperforming. Like, Hex is just amazing. I absolutely love Hex. Hex.com. Let's go look at chat here. So the most important thing to mention is that the sacrifice phase is live. The differences between this sacrifice phase and the last one are there's a little bit of lead time in the front that's longer. So some people really want to sacrifice before the end of the year. Maybe it's for tax reasons. And some people really want to sacrifice after the first of the year because they have some money coming in. So the range is a little bit larger. So the rate starts ticking up 5% per day. At January 10th is the first day that is 5% higher. And then that happens for 47 days. And then if you do the calculation of 1.05 to the 47th power, you end up with 9.91x. And so, you know, day 47 after January 10th, which I think is like sometime in February, the rate is 9.91x higher. Now in the last 5 days, you won't get the volume bonus anymore where there's a ranking. So whoever gets the best rank, whoever sacrifices the most, gets the best bonus of 2.5x, up to 2.5x on their coins. And then everybody underneath him gets less. And the larger that guy is, the more chunk he takes out, the less is left over for everybody else bonus. And so you don't get to participate in that volume bonus on the last 5 days. It's just a flat 1.75x, but you're murdered by the rate increase at 9.91x. So, you know, times 9.91 divided by 1.75, you're not doing that great at that later date. Somebody asked, how does sacrificing before the end of the year benefit taxes? Don't ask me. I'm not a tax advisor. Just telling you what I hear. Is that a new bracelet? Yeah, this is quite affordable. It's a quite affordable Swarovski bracelet. They make a necklace too, which I would have loved to have got, but I didn't. I'll get around to it. What's neat is the actual facet on the top of the stone is a hexagon. So you can't see it. You got to really hit it in the light the right way, but the top facet is a hexagon. So it's kind of cool, you know. And this thing I've had it forever. This Versace one is, I just never wear it, but I've had it a long time. So we've covered prices of the world's largest airdrop. For you guys that don't know, The, you know, Pulse Chain is giving everyone a copy of all of their ERC20s, and your keys automatically work, and you don't have to do anything at all. No sign up, nothing. It automatically works. You just use your keys in the new chain. You point your wallet to the new chain. So if you have MetaMask, you click network, you click add, you click custom, you paste in the address, and you could do this right now. So you could go see all of your coins, the world's largest airdrop in the world, on the testnet right now. Just go into t.me/pulsechain.com, and the bot every once in a while posts all the info you need. You can also Google, Pulse Chain testnet settings or GitLab Pulse Chain testnet. And I should memorize what the URL is. That would be easier. Then I could just tell it to you. And then you could, as long as you go into MetaMask and click add and paste your token address, the contract address for the token and how many decimals it has, it's gonna show you all of your coins that were from about 2 months ago, which was when the snapshot for that testnet occurred. And so when we do this for real on the main net, there will be bridges that allow you to take your coins from Ethereum and put them on Pulse Chain. Trade them around on PulseX as much as you want, and then bridge back off, sell on Coinbase, do whatever you want to do, And so, and then there's a reward program, an incentive program that gives people extra tokens above and beyond the tokens they'd earn just for trading fees for bridging in liquidity from Ethereum onto the Pulse Chain. And then this does two things. It enriches the users that bridge in their ERC20s and pair them with their free PRC20s in a liquidity pool. They make trading fees, 0.22% on each trade. But they also get this bonus incentive token controlled by the PulseX DAO, which further incentivizes them. And PulseX itself does not inflate. It only deflates. So there's no inflation. The token that inflates to reward the other holders is the second token. It's controlled by the first token's DAO. So imagine that everyone in Ethereum now that has any coin or any Ethereum at all gets a free copy of their Ethereum on the Pulse Chain. The only people that get diluted are the Ethereum holders. You could say the LPs, liquidity providers, get hit a little bit because the bot harvests them. So anything that they had in LP, they're going to get those PRC20s nuked by about 99.9%. And then they'll be, paid with the PLS Pulse tokens. But if they go to try and reverse the transaction, the price is a million times higher. So they're not able to really reverse the transaction. So the automated market maker bot that feeds PulseX with so much liquidity by emptying Sushi, Uni, and maybe some other things, it's getting a really good deal because it's basically buying $1 million misprice or 1 million-fold misprice. So, that's pretty neat. Because now, Pulse Chain will have all of Ethereum's tickers, and none of those people that created those things or invented those tickers can pull the liquidity because those guys don't control it anymore. It's been removed from their control. Oh, it's so good. And then when people bridge in their ERC20s to pair them with their PRC20s and back the PRC20s value, who do you think's benefiting from all that? The PRC20 holders, and they're not getting diluted at all. There's no dilution for those guys. Only the Ethereum guys are getting diluted. So I think it'll be a very successful yield farming project, because when have you ever gotten half of the yield pair for free? You usually have to provide both sides. Now you've got your stuff, you've got your free stuff, you pair them together and you're backing the value of your own free stuff. It's amazing. Like, really fabulous idea. I mean, I've called this the kill shot before. This is how you reduce Ethereum's fees, by reducing the load on Ethereum, by getting people to move their economic energy to the Pulse Chain, load up Pulse, reduce Ethereum fees, and then pollute the environment less because there's no mining, there's no proof of work, it's proof of stake. We're beating Ethereum 2.0 to market with their own features and a more battle-tested software. And it's on testnet now, and you can use it now. And then as far as the code for PulseX, Uniswap v2 designers were nice enough to include a platform fee function into the software that's been fully audited out the yin-yang. It's probably one of the most audited contracts in the history of Ethereum. So it's as safe as you can get. It's also gas efficient. That that code is what is forked in order to create PulseX. And so, it's very easy. You know, it's nice to have the vast majority of what you need to do already done. It's very nice. By the way, if you're using the Pulse Chain testnet, you can also test the Pulse Chain testnet Uniswap. So have fun. It's really awesome. I'm very, very happy. Someone in chat says, Mr. Far Out Alien says, like button, smash, hit the like button. That sounds good, man. Yes, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Instagram.com/RichardHartOfficial. Twitter.com/RichardHartWin. I think I've got like 144K followers over there. And here, you know, we're almost breaking 100K on YouTube.com/RichardHart. That'd be awesome. Hi, Richard. Why is USDT not included for sacrifice by the BSC network? Yeah, it's fine. It is included. And I'm nearly positive that I saw it on the page. So let's go. I go to pulsex.info and then I click Binance Smart Chain. And down here at the bottom, it says no USDT. That needs to be added. Thank you for pointing that out. No, wait, is it BUSD? No, it's not there. Needs added. Thanks a lot, man. I will mention that to the devs. Great point. Yeah, USDT supported. So it just needs to be added to this page. I mean, the secret here is that if whatever you're sacrificing has real liquidity, efforts will be made to try and, even if you sacrifice something that was not on the list, you know, to try and credit you if what you sacrificed was liquid. If what you sacrificed was illiquid and it wasn't on the accepted list, forget it. But once again, have no expectation of profit from the work of others. You know, if you sacrifice something that's not on that list, you know, if it's liquid, we'll try and make it cool and just try and add it to the list, right? Because why would you not want to accept something that was liquid for sacrifice? But once again, not telling you that that will happen. I'm just saying that I would like it to happen. Thanks for that that mention, Leo Miranda there. Appreciate it. Somebody says, am I too late to figure all this out? I mean, what really is there to figure out? You can either sacrifice your coins and then you get free other coins because you made a political statement that, you know, I like. Or you buy something like Hex that already exists and has existed for years. Number goes up or not. You stake it and make extra yield or not. Like, I don't know. So not that complicated, I guess. What is a sacrifice or amount multiplier I keep hearing about? The more I sack, the more I get in return. Well, yeah, the higher up in the sacrifice rank you go, the lower you push everyone else, the more of the up to 2.5x bonus you're taking up. So people compete very harshly. And by the way, there's a guy who is building out. So you know the guy that had Pulse, what's it called? Pulse lead.xyz for the previous Pulse chain sacrifice phase. You know, he sent me a screenshot of him being basically done with one for this sacrifice phase, which is pretty cool. Because I just messaged him like, hey man, you can do the same thing for this one, and he's like, already almost done. I'm like, thank goodness, because I don't have time to check in with everyone building awesome stuff, right? So it was nice that, because the answer could have been, nah, I didn't do it. That could have been the answer, but instead it was like, yeah, it's nearly done, which makes me a lot happier because I think that's a cool site and that's a really cool feature to show where you rank, right? I was gonna type something. Oh yeah, it's got to add USDT to the Binance Smart Chain. Oh, my text underneath my picture here is wrong. Thanks, guys. Let's go fix that real quick. There we go. these to be shorter. Nice. All right. Thanks, chat, for doing that. Here, let me blank my screen for a second. See if there's any other good stuff chat has to tell me. Yeah, I'm still here. I just blanked my screen for a minute. Doesn't look like there's anything important going on. So I'm back. Oop. I'm back. Hey there. Let's go back chat here. My shirt is a Dolce & Gabbana shirt. I don't know. Basically all the shirts and stuff and pants I buy, I try and make them like 1,000 euros if I can, which is like, how many dollars is that? I don't know. $1,300 or $1,400 or something per shirt. I'll only wear it if it's wildly expensive. Nah, I still wear affordable stuff too, but when you're trying to look cooler than other people, how you gonna do it? Black shirt, it's just another black shirt. So you overpay for a brand, I guess. Like this bag. This is a $25,000 bag. So is it better than any of the bags? No. You can't even like fold it or collapse it, it'll break. It's still durable, it's still useful, it still looks awesome, but you know, primarily it's cool for the wow factor. Hi Richard, could you talk about the change to the public call function for the buy burn on PulseX? Yes. The text of the website says that 0.06% of the trade, which is 22% of the total fee. So 0.06 is 22% of 0.29, which is the fee, could be used to buy back and burn. This is a very delicate phrase, because once again, you must have no expectation of profit from the work of others in anything that I am involved with. Now, what I would have loved is that you could have a contract similar to the good accounting contract call inside a public function called good accounting that anyone could call in the Hex contract. But you can't do it for Uniswap because Hex, everything is on chain. All of the logic is public and pure and locked and immutable and on chain. But with Uniswap, it's not that way. Uniswap doesn't do routing on chain. It does routing off chain. And routing is actually very computationally expensive. And if you tried to do it on chain, you'd run out of space in the blocks. Like it just wouldn't, you can't. There's a reason that no one's coded this yet. And it's not just because I come up with good ideas that others don't, but it's because this particular thing, I don't think it can be done. Not with the blockchains that we have today that really can't do much. So if you did give the public access to use the coins to then buy and burn PulseX, they could set up evil routes that routed through stuff that they owned to empty that account of its coins and really not actually do the buying and burning to any large degree because the routing is off chain. And so there's no mechanism by which that you can validate that someone is performing a best effort or nearly optimal or even okay route in order to perform the buy and burn. So it just can't be done. Like I'm unaware of any way to do it. That's it, you know. And we ran into a similar thing with the bridges where you're just like, you know, some node has to be trusted in order to say this happened over there, and therefore because I saw that, I'm going to happen this over here. Oh, someone locked up their coins on the ETH chain? Well, then we're going to issue coins that represent them on this chain. Oh, they burnt the coins on this chain? Okay, then we're going to release the coins on that chain. You have to have something that you trust in order to do that because it's not on a single chain. Because it's on two chains, you're touching the real world, something has to say, I saw this, so then I did that. So it's another not yet solved and apparently very hard to solve issue that I thought with the bridges, the same logic that allows atomic cross swaps to work, I thought, oh, well, that allows you to do trustless swaps, so you should be able to do that here. It just doesn't. So now look, if we figured it out. Oh, PulseXlead.com is up. Well, that's awesome. Let's go look at it. PulseXlead.com. That's great. Look at this. So this is on the Ethereum channel only, Ethereum chain only. The top sacrificer so far is in for 15.7 million. He'll get the most bonus. So all of his coins, all of his dollars, all of his points get 2.5x, 2.4999, 2.4998, right? Like his coins get the best seats in the auditorium. And then the next guy gets shoved farther back in the auditorium and his coins get a less good bonus. This is cool. This is great. PulseXlead.com. Type that in chat. There you go. So number one is at 15.7 mil, 4.7 mil, 3.5, 3.0, 2.4, 2.1, 1.8, 1.5, 1.2, 1.15, 1.1. Yeah, this is cool. I really like this. And then you can like show me a comprehensive breakdown. Oh, nice. This shows breakdown by coin. This shows breakdown by address. Yeah, he just put this up. Great work, man. If you're watching, great work. Thank you for building this. This looks really cool. It's got a donate button too. So if you like it as much as I do, consider donating. This is very, very nice. Is there going to be a charity for PulseX? It's just a political statement. That's what's going on in this one. Somebody asked, when do we start seeing the airdrop in our wallets? Well, you can see it now on the test net, but if you want to see it on the main net, you got to wait. Hopefully it's 2 months from now. Make the watches spin? I don't feel like making the watches spin, man. Do you really want me to? Fine. Have some spin. There you go. I'll spin some of them. You went black? Yeah, I did that on purpose. Oh, that sounds a little noisy, dude. Yeah, I must not have put one of the watches in there the right way. Now they'll be crooked. Get rid of that live too. It's redundant. Okay. Here we go. PulseX is live. PulseX.com and PulseX.info are live. Go now. Does that fit? Yep. All right. Hope you're happy. Thanks for the tip. Are more people participating in the SAC a hindrance to price potential? Nobody knows. So put it this way. If you invent a coin, you're the least participants possible, right? So how coin does, like, if you invent a coin and you're the only one that uses it, how well does your coin do? Well, it does terribly, because coins are social things and they benefit. Like if you look at Metcalfe's law, the value of a network is in proportion to the square of the number of its participants. And so as you get more participants, you get exponential value. And I consider cryptocurrencies kind of that way. And X times Y equals K market makers are also that way. They move as a function of a square. So, I think that having more participants earlier helps you get a critical mass. Like who are the people that are spreading the word about Hex and introducing Hex to everybody? The people that already have done well with Hex. And so the more people that do well with a thing, the more people that participate with a thing, the more people add to their positions, and the more they tell other people. So I think that a more successful sacrifice phase is very likely to make a more successful community, and more successful communities create more successful prices. So I don't think less participation in the sacrifice phase would be good. I think more participation is better, in my opinion. Because, there's no other way to get people to change their behavior to start really caring about a thing unless they on-ramp to the thing, And the earlier, the better. Because with exponential growth, if you're going vertical at some point, the day right before vertical sucked. The vertical day is the good one. So when you get a snowball, the bigger snowball you start with, you're pushing your vertical day earlier. Makes a big deal. Makes a big difference. Am I delirious from being sick, or is the LV bag lighting up? Yeah, changes colors. Cost $25,000, so better do something for the money. The liquidity sweeping function is simply genius in the buy and burn. Thanks, man. Can we swap PulseX for Pulse before it launches? Yes, you can. Here's how. And but it depends on what you mean by launches. You could do it before the bridges launch. So imagine that there aren't any bridges yet. And so you're just on the Pulse network and you're trading PLC20s for PLS and other or PRC20s, right? Like ERC20 copies. And now so in the first, quite early, someone can make a PLSX pair. And they can add their PLS on one side and their PLX on another side and create the pair. Now they choose at what ratio they put those pairs. And in Uniswap, that ratio is the price. And if nothing has a price yet, then it's just a ratio. So we'll just call it a ratio. But if they were exchangeable for real money, then they have a price. Now, so if someone sets that pair of PLS versus PLSX, you will be able to trade your PLSX for PLS. But it is up to the market to decide at what ratio they're willing to participate in those trades and where they're setting their liquidity. Then you can do all that trading, right? So maybe if you missed out on Pulse chain, PLS, and you want to on-ramp to it, you could sacrifice for freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, get free PLSX. You could create the market yourself. Someone else could create the market. Anyone could create the market. It's a public function. And then anyone can trade against it. So there's a chance if someone wants to get into PLSX and you want to get into PLS that you guys meet and you swap and everybody's happy. Now, when the bridges launch, which you'd assume maybe 24 or 48 hours later, now someone creates a pair on the Ethereum side for PLS ETH, or someone creates a pair on the Pulse side for PLS ETH, which is bridged in ETH. And now you've got a gateway to fiat on-ramps. You've got a gateway to cash out. You've got a gateway to all the ERC20s backing up the value of all the PRC20s. And so you can on-ramp and off-ramp on any of those things, right? So the reason you kind of want to have that delay between when PLSX, PulseX exchange launches and when the bridges launch is just so everybody knows that we're launching at zero value. And if, just like Satoshi created coins at zero value, got dominion and control of coins at zero value, and therefore doesn't owe any tax. until he sells, depending on where he lives. Some places you sell, you don't owe any tax. That's why I don't like giving tax advice, because it really depends on where you live, and I'm not a professional at that. So I know that the thing that you can do that is most likely to not tax someone is to give them something of no value. Very easy. So that's the point is, you could sacrifice for PulseX now and then swap it for Pulse on that pair before the bridges come live, and you might get a good deal. It's up to the market. Can you sacrifice more than once? Yes. And if you sacrifice on different chains to the same address, like you entered the same address to generate your memos or your unique Bitcoin or Litecoin addresses, or we see on chain that address is the one that sacrificed for Ethereum, those kind of things, then you should get that all combined, because it's something that happens off chain. So anybody that's reasonable can look off chain and see the same address was responsible for all that, as long as you entered it onto pulse.info, pulsex.info. It's very important. Do not go to pulse.info. It's something like 2,500 times higher rate than it was at launch. I would not suggest anyone sacrifice at pulse.info. Pulsex.info seems like the way to go. Unless you want to get 2,500x less of a thing, because it's been, 3 or 4 months now. Richard, I swapped on MetaMask, BSC, USDT. Yeah, you're fine. That's fine. It'll get added to the site. Stablecoins everywhere are like pretty awesome. So USDC, just about anywhere, great. USDT, just about anywhere, great. DAI, just about anywhere, great. BUSD, just about anywhere, great. Those are the like top 3 or 4 most liquid things in cryptocurrency on on-chain exchange. So yes, like all that stuff, you're fine. You would have to find a weird one, like some chain that nobody uses or something. But the ones that you guys are using that are quite common, they're going to be fine. Like, so USDT, USDC, in order of my liking them currently, I think DAI, then USDC, then USDT, and then I guess whatever's most liquid next. I don't know. What is BUSD, I guess. Talk about Lightning can't scale, sir, please. Why? It has no users. I don't care to talk about it. Richard Hart, your legend. Will I get rich off PulseX? I have no idea, man. How would I know that? How much do you have? What do you consider to be rich? I don't know these things. Hey, there we go. Now my screen's bright again. We need Pulse Chain to launch for the sake of freedom. My pilot husband refuses to get the job, and with the new federal threat of requiring Drab to travel, my husband will be let go. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. PulseX, sacrificing to support the political idea which is enshrined in the First Amendment of freedom of movement and association and assembly. They're kind of all 3 there. When is Pulse launching? 2 months, I hope. Can you explain liquidity for noobs? Yeah, sure. You want to go to the supermarket and buy chocolate milk. Is there chocolate milk there? Yes? Then they have liquidity in chocolate milk. It just means is for sale. So if there's chocolate milk at the supermarket, then the chocolate milk market is liquid at that supermarket. That's all liquidity means. Somebody says, just checked my address, not there. Yeah, dude. Are we on mainnet? Are we on mainnet yet? Why would it be there? Do you think this is not an Ethereum airdrop? No one's going to pay millions of dollars to airdrop tokens to Ethereum users. The whole idea is we're building stuff better than what's on Ethereum. Don't mean to get angry so quickly. Sorry about that. I just hate stupid questions a little bit. That one's really stupid. That's above average stupid question. How do you see it now in testnet? I told you. You know what? You guys obviously are of low intelligence. Let me Google it for you. Even though I told you how to Google it, apparently you can't Google anything. Even though you're sitting in a computer wanting to enter in, parameters to your MetaMask, let me Google it for you. Pulse chain testnet settings. Oh my God! Look, there it is. The first link, a link to GitLab, and I scroll down, and there's a picture. There's a picture of your MetaMask, and you enter Pulse chain testnet as the network name. You go to MetaMask, and you click the top right where it says Ethereum mainnet. You click it. It's a drop-down box. You go to Add Network on the bottom, and then you enter this stuff. Pulse chain testnet is the network name. rpc.v2.testnet.pulsechain.com is your URL. Now prefix that with https:// chain ID 940, currency symbol, lowercase t, capital PLS, block explorer, https://scan.v2.testnet.pulsechain.com. Are we good? Are we good now? I Googled that for you. I clicked the first link that I got. I scrolled down, and it's in the first picture. Why did I have to do that on live stream for you guys? Very silly. And like, I'm sure that you're not watching now. You're really typing that into your MetaMask right now. I'm positive. By the way, you'll see your balances from about 2.25 months ago. It might have just been 2 months ago, because that's when the snapshot was. I'm 10 minutes behind on chat, by the way. Somebody says Pulse Chain Sacrifice listed on Etherscan as the Pulse Chain Sacrifice, but PulseX is not yet. I don't know, man. I don't even know who, like someone at their company probably has the admin rights to be able to name things. I don't know how that happens. I can't find my address I sent from Binance Smart Chain. Once again, you guys have a terrible time listening for some reason. PulseXlead.com only shows the Ethereum chain. The Binance Smart Chain is not the Ethereum chain, is it? No, it's not. So if you sacrifice on any chain except Ethereum, the only place in the whole world you're going to see it is on the block explorer for the chain that you used. It's public info, but like you're the only one that knows that you did it, pretty much. So you're not supposed to see it anywhere. But we know it happened online because we can check it. And so when the sacrifice phase is over, we go and we measure all these things, and we try and time weight, fair value that everyone sacrifices and match them all together and stuff. Like that all happens offline at the end. Now we're nice that some guy built it so that it could happen online now, but it's only convenient to do for Ethereum. Now I will publish the data that you need to track the other real-time things, but like currently there's no volume there to even care about it right now. Right, so like the Bitcoin chain, Litecoin, Monero, XRP, those things. And by the way, those are super easy. So ones that use memos. So for instance, the Lumens and Ripple, XLM and XRP, those are so easy to track because they just use memos. So it's a single address for everybody, and then people just credit their address by using a different memo when they send the transaction. Those are very easy to look at. The hard ones are Monero, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin. Those ones are hard because they're UTXO based, and then everyone gets issued a separate address, and there's no easy way to see all the addresses that were issued. So those ones are actually hard to view. The balance based ones that aren't UTXO based, those are super easy. What happens if Vitalik has you kidnapped? It's funny. How will future quality ERC20s be added to the Pulse chain? Well, you can bridge in whatever you want. Anyone can start their own bridge, or they could use the bridge that it launches with. And people have already got entire projects funded, designed on adding projects to Pulse Chain. So there's launcher things that get, popular. So those have already been funded. They have nothing to do with me, but they exist, and they're by teams that have been successful in other chains like BSC. So maybe that adds a lot of coins. I'm going to try spinning the top 3 watches because I think those aren't the ones that are scraping. I think it's the bottom one that's scraping, but we'll see. Somebody asked what a liquidity provider is. Quite simply, on Uniswap V2, which PulseX will be a fork of, you deposit 2 sides of a coin. So for instance, if you were combining bridged in USDC or bridged in stablecoin with Pulse, for instance, if there were 100 Pulse and 100 of the stablecoin, then each Pulse would be worth 1 of the stablecoin, which would be $1 if the stablecoin had dollar value. And now if people trade one side of the pair for the other, so if someone trades Pulse for the dollar or the dollar for Pulse, then the person that performs a trade pays a fee of 0.29%, and the person that provided the liquidity and had set a little bit of each coin there in equal value gets 0.22% of that fee. And so every dollar you're making 0.22 cents. So $100, you're making 22 cents. So you want people to do volume, you want people to trade back and forth, you're making the fees, and then that's how you make profit as a liquidity provider. But in this system, there will be an extra token from a DAO that also rewards you, and whatever value that has would increase the value of your trading fees. And if you want to try that, you can try it out right now on the testnet. It's the Uniswap thing. So it's slightly different. The fees are 0.3. The LP makes the 0.3. And that's on, go to the chat room, t.me/pulsechaincom. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, that one will work actually. t.me/pulsechaincom. And then you can test out adding liquidity to the Uniswap that's on the testnet and see what happens. When is the highest of stakes trailer coming out? Well, the estimate I got for being done and being able to see somewhere popular, hopefully, is January of next year. So a year. Takes a while. Where is the sacrifice button on the Pulse for PulseX on the Staker app? Ask Steph and Firebun. I don't know. Good question. Ask them. What time will the snapshot happen? We don't know yet, man. So we got to wait till we're closer to mainnet to choose that. Once again, as always, people that are blocked on my Twitter never tell me their username. Never. They say, Richard, can you unblock me? And they never tell me their username. We can sack ADA from centralized exchanges like Binance so long as we get a unique address out of MetaMask with it. Yes, that's correct. So UTXO-based coins that issue unique addresses at pulsex.info, they allow you to send from exchange. But EVM-based chains like Ethereum, you'll lose all your money. You can't send from exchange. And so it's noted on the ones that you can send from exchange that you can in pulsex.info. How do we see our tokens on MetaMask? I added a testnet, but I only see a small amount of ETH. You have, I swear to God, I told you this, man. I know I did. You have to click add token. It's a blue link at the bottom. It says add token. And then it's going to ask you for the address, the contract address of your token. Go look it up. Type your token name in Google and then ask for the address, contract address, token name. And then it's going to ask you how many decimal points. That's it. And then you click OK, and you'll see your coins from 2 months ago. And that's when the snapshot was. If you guys are saying that you need to remember that the snapshot for that testnet was 2 months ago, so your current balances are irrelevant. What is relevant to your testnet balances is what they were 2 months ago. And also the sacrifice credits weren't written to that testnet. So what matters is just what was in your Ethereum wallet 2 months ago. Bring Roger Ver back to chat. And what do I think of Andreas? I think Andreas is a little snowflake. I accidentally said snowflake. That's funny. I think he's a snowflake. And yeah, he doesn't support women's rights. I don't like him. He said a lot of cool stuff way back when, right? He supported Bitcoin, supported Ethereum, you know, good for that. But trying to like control people, I'm not into that. I'm into personal liberty, and he's not. He likes to control people. So if you want to have him at an event, he will not go to an event. He will not speak at an event unless the event people running it sign an agreement that there will be no girls in bikinis at their event. There will be no girls dressed sexually at all at their event. What's up with that? So if you're ugly in crypto, you can make money. But if you're pretty in crypto, you can't make money? That's disgusting. So he's a snowflake, as anyone that has pronouns in their profile is. Like, you're trying to control other people, and it's gross. Let people be free. I really hope that little baby snowflake Andreas gets to face me in a debate on any topic at all. Please. I can't wait. See, I actually go and build things and make the world a better place. He flaps his lips all day. Flappy, flappy, flappy. Which is why, as a person that supported Bitcoin, he was broke. And as a person that was private, I had a lot of Bitcoin. Because instead of spending all day flapping my lips, I was out there adding value in the world. So the only reason he has any money in crypto at all is because Roger Ver dropped an insult on him, and the community was so butthurt over the insult that they gave him $1 million at the end of 2017. Somebody just dropped $1 million on him, probably because they did what he couldn't and actually bought some Bitcoin. It's hilarious. So as a person that's been retired for 25 years, you know, a guy that could never make it, a loser that had to get money from, he doesn't even, like, okay, let me give you another one. Let me tell you another reason that Andreas is a loser, other than just trying to control people in gross ways. He doesn't even accept Bitcoin for his Patreon. He only accepts credit cards. What? Like, you love crypto so much? You're the crypto evangelist. You want everyone to use crypto? Why don't you use crypto? Disgusting. It's like, okay. You hear me, Andreas? You listening, buddy? Little snowflake? Come to the captain. Come to the king. Let me set you straight, buddy. Maybe I'll grow your hair back. It'll be awesome. This probably makes people a lot of, you know. If I see that snowflake trash and you're trying to control people, I'm gonna come back at you, man. You don't want me to come back at you? Don't try and control people like that. Can you imagine if I were to book an event and this little snowflake baby punk says, I won't even show up at your event unless you draft this specific agreement and have everyone sign it that says this is exactly how the event will go. And the way that event will go will suck. I just had an event, and we had awesome looking girls at my event. We had people dancing in reflective clothing, like mirrored stuff. We had contortionists. We had girls on stage and, fancy clothes with sequins and stuff alongside me. It was awesome and it was amazing. But Snowflake Andreas wouldn't allow any of that, because apparently the way we live our lives is not as good as the way he lives his life. I doubt that. I raised $27 million for medical research. Where you at, Andreas? What you doing, homie? You raise any money to save my life? Because I raised money to save your life, little buddy. Can you add Harmony 1 as a way to sacrifice? I don't know. I'll look into it. If you guys want to see me talk with Roger Ver, go message him. Have him message me. How does a BTC DApp address generate? Hashing a daughter or from pre-populated ETH address list? You know what? I'm actually going to answer you. When I got into Bitcoin, there was no HD wallets. What is an HD wallet? An HD wallet is a hierarchical deterministic wallet, which means that from a single seed, you can generate an infinite number of other addresses that are all derived from that address. The math and the method by which that derivation occurs is covered in several different Bitcoin improvement proposals that have different numbers. They were called BIPs, Bitcoin Improvement Proposal, BIP. BIP 32, BIP 44, BIP 39 covers HD wallet stuff. So BIP 32 and 44 are very common ways to derive addresses from a seed address. Some of them use hardening. Some of them include the chain in them. And so they look like, M/0/0/0 punctuation mark. And then different systems derive differently. So old school multi-bit would use that wallet, would use a different derivation path for change addresses. And then a different one for addresses you weren't using to pay change back to yourself. This is so complicated, I don't even know why I'm explaining it to you. So the trick is that if you get an XPub or ZPub, ZPubs use SegWit, XPubs use native one-based addresses. I'm just speaking Greek to you guys now. Then you can derive, using those different derivation methods, a list of payable things. And the trick is to try and get the derivation method to match what wallets already want to use. But if you can't do that, then you can hack around it by injecting valid private keys directly into the wallet. So now in the beginning in Bitcoin, it didn't do any of that. There was no derivation. There was no HD, heuristic deterministic, hierarchical deterministic. There was just, you make a bunch of private public key pairs and then they'll get exhausted. And so in the beginning, like the first Bitcoin clients that I used, it would pre-make 100 private public key pairs, and then your public key is hashed to generate your address. So your address in Bitcoin is actually a hash of a public key. You having fun with all this crap that no one can understand, everybody? And so then what would happen is you'd back up your wallet that had 100 keys in it, but you would have spent some more and it would have generated, more public private keys, and all of your change gets paid to those new addresses. And you only have a backup of the first 100, and so it totally invalidates your backup. So if you backed up your wallet and then you spent more than 100 times, your backup was now invalidated for the most part, right? Like any change set to those new addresses. And every time you send money, if there's any remainder, there's change addresses. So like if you have 100 Bitcoin in an unspent transaction output in a UTXO, if you have an unspent transaction output, then you go to spend $1 of a $100 UTXO, you get $99 change, and then that goes to an address you don't have backed up now. And so HD Wallet solved all that. So now you can just have your seed words or your XPub, and you'll know all of your addresses. And so your seed words can derive not only a whole bunch of. That's the funny thing is your public addresses are generated from your private keys, and so an HD wallet that has an infinite number of private keys underneath it can then generate an infinite number of public keys, and then those get hashed to generate addresses. And you have to be careful when you're messing with if you're a wallet designer, you can mess this up, and it's very hard. But as a user, it's pretty easy. Oh, you just have 12 seed words. Cool. And everything just works. Great. But it didn't used to be that way. So the answer to your question is, how do you generate addresses for ADA, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, is you use derivation paths from a BIP32 root seed. And there's other ways you can do it, but this is the most convenient. That's the answer. So BIP39 and BIP44 and BIP32 would answer your question. Can I get brightness, please? Thank you. How do you know your sacrifice was accepted? You see it on chain. Unless it's on Ethereum, and then, other people see it quite easily as well. Now I'm probably like 20 minutes behind chat. Sorry, guys. Richard on fire. Thanks, man. I wonder how many people are watching. Let's take a look. $3,215. Quite a lot of people. That's great. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Pleasure speaking to all you guys. Will the sale of coins donated cause a crash in the price of the market? A liquid coin, by definition, is one that doesn't crash to death when you sell it. Some people tried to scam by sacrificing unaccepted, very high price. So somebody made a dog coin, and then that dog coin was worth billions on paper, but there was only 250,000 of liquidity supporting it. And so in a single market sell, there was only 250,000 that you could get, right? So that illiquid coin ain't getting no credit. Or if it did, it would be in relationship to the actual value of the coin, which is extremely low. I sack from exchange. Please help me, Mr. Hart. Well, that's fine if you were using something with a memo or would generate a unique address by pulsex.info. If it was an EVM-based change, you might not be fine. Lab-grown diamonds are real. These are all real diamonds. I mean, there's sapphires here as well. So if you Google or you go on YouTube and you search for Ben White hex, you're going to find this, how I made it. It's double-sided, rose gold, 3,000 stones. The ones on the white in the center, those are platinum and diamonds. The rest of them are sapphires. And then all these watches, those are all real diamonds, and they're all factory. I mean, there's $3 million of watches sitting here. I don't think you should buy diamonds. I think they're quite silly. I think Swarovski crystals sparkle as hard or harder. Like, I got a pair of Prada shoes covered in Swarovski crystals. I don't even know if they're Swarovski, but man, God, they cut the light like crazy. Like, I would say that, oh, by the way, these Rolexes, they all use internal flawless diamonds from visually, white from D to F color, I think. So they're like the best diamonds you can get, pretty much. Richard, we support you from Roatan, Honduras. Thanks, man. Richard said that Sol hasn't been added as a network. Yeah, the problem is that, we looked at that, and it's really hard to try and develop around. Like, it's very hard. So that's a reason it's not supported. We looked at it. Why did someone delete the Honduras comment? Who deleted that? Cookie Boy, why would you delete the Honduras comment, dude? What's wrong with that? Somebody said hi from where he's from. Jeez, man. I don't see any problem with that. Unless I just scroll down and misidentify to delete. Richard, your mic is auto-muting when you stop speaking. It's frustrating. Yeah, I know it's frustrating, but it's not auto-muting. I'm physically muting it. Occasionally it sounds like there's someone with a chainsaw outside. It's like I'm in a Halloween movie. So I didn't feel like hearing that, so I just muted it. Yes, my hearing operates through the mute button. I didn't feel like you hearing it. If too many people sacrifice to PLSX, will the value of it stay low when launched? The market decides. Oh, apparently my stream hooked up. Oh, I'm back. I hope it wasn't dead for too long. How long was my stream dead for, guys? You can tell me in chat. Thanks for Hex. It's changed my life. I support everything you do from now on. I think you're as real as it gets. I never have to sell women's shoes again. Al Bundy. Nice. I'm old enough to get that joke. He's like 40 minutes behind the chat. No, I'm 11 minutes behind. I'm usually 20 to 25 though. Love Richard always. Thanks, man. These plebs don't even understand normal English. Can't expect them to rocket science. Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm curious, does Chainlink have any compatibility and or use or function on the Pulse chain? Yeah, if they want to point their servers, if they want to, how do I say this? All Chainlink is a bunch of guys running their own computers to shove numbers onto the blockchain. And those numbers are, this is what our computer says the price for something is. That's all it is. So if they want to take their computers and have them export that data of we think the price is this onto our chain, in addition to the other chains they're doing it on, then good, let them do that. Richard, will PulseX have 1.75x flat rates days? Yes, the last 5. Talk about your bracelet, please. This is a snake skin Versace bracelet, and this is a Swarovski thing. To hide my eyes for this to work. There you go. Come on, camera. Well, anyway. Smash the like. Hey, guys that want me to like unblock you on Twitter or whatever, you need to message me on Telegram. t.me/RichardHart. And tell me your username. I swear to God, I'm going to start banning you guys if you don't tell me your username. So irritating. Your username on the platform you want unbanned on, please. You know what would make my life even easier? Give me a link. Will I need PLS tokens for gas to swap PLSX to Pulse once mainnet launches? Yes. But you'll already have those just if you had any ETH at the fork height, right? But if you didn't have any ETH in that address, then yeah, you would need some PLS. Hi Rich, I'm new to PulseX. Can I do the sacrifice of my tokens now? And do I have to do anything before the sacrifice? No. You can go to pulsex.info and sacrifice away. This guy has said that he's sacrificed from his exchange by accident numerous times. So listen, Fong Vblog, Phong Vblog, Fong Vblog. I'm talking to you, man. I've already addressed this. I've already answered you. I'm going to do it again. And then in 10 minutes, once I'm caught up with this moment, if I see you spam my chat anymore, I'm going to ban you. Okay? You can sacrifice from exchange if you got a unique address to do so from. So for instance, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, Dogecoin, then sacrifice from exchange is fine because we know who you are, because you're the one that got that unique address and you're the only one that got it. If you used a memo like Ripple, XRP, XLM Lumens, etc., you're also fine because you're the only one that got issued that memo. But if you're on an EVM-based system where there's no way to tell, so here's your exchange. Your exchange has thousands of users. They hold thousands of wallets. They send those coins to the sacrifice address. How am I supposed to know that when that exchange sent those coins to the sacrifice address, that in reality, it was you privately requesting them to do that for you? How am I supposed to know? What, am I going to go into your computer and verify your communication with your exchange to try and say like, oh, this guy was the reason that happened? Like, explain, tell me how anyone's supposed to know that you were the guy that caused this massive exchange to perform a sacrifice and it wasn't somebody else. And then explain to me how I know that you're not just impersonating someone else and trying to take credit for that sacrifice. Which is why we have this app that does all these things. Yeah, so when a giant exchange sacrifices, you don't know who it was for, period. Like, which is a reason you use unique addresses on UTXO systems. You use people's own wallets that they have the keys to for EVM-based systems like Ethereum. And then you use memos on systems that support memos. Please stop spamming my chat, dude. Is there any reason the bear is kissing the dark's butt? Yes. If I sit it up, its head doesn't stick in the frame anymore. Let's try it. Let's try and fix it for you guys at home. I can tell that this bear is very important to you. There you go. You see enough of his head for me. I hope that works for you. What do I think of Jack Mallers and Strike? He sounds like a nothing burger. I think he pumped fiat. And I think he has you AML KYC to use his fiat pumping system. And I think everyone that put their hopes and dreams that he would save Bitcoin was very let down, or should have been, when all he did was pump fiat and spam up the Bitcoin network instead of actually providing any buy pressure to Bitcoin whatsoever. Lol. Imagine, what is this? It's too bad we can't hit the like button multiple times. Hey man, tell a friend, right? Do I got to pay gas fees to swap to Pulse? You need to, on the Pulse network, when the Pulse network launches, you're going to have to pay like a penny of gas. Or I guess it's free before it has a value, right? Like before the coins accrue value. Before the bridges open up and the coins accrue value, then everyone should be able to trade for free as long as they have Pulse. My brain hurts, but I want more. Nice. I love crypto talk. Makes me feel smarter. Nice, dude. Now I'm 15 minutes behind. I'm losing ground. 100x project, where's this at? You might want to check out PulseX. You might like it. I have like 0.05 BTC in a Zpub wallet that I had created, but I can't figure out how to access it. Well, good luck, dude. Do you think a lot of the lost BTC had something to do with pre-HD wallet issues? It might have, man. It really might have. I'm so far behind chat that I just lost a lot of the ability to even read the chat. Because after I'm so far behind, it just deletes it all. So like I just lost 10 minutes of chat. So now I'm only 4 minutes behind because it just deleted it all. I can't scroll up to it anymore. It's a crappy Google thing. Crappy YouTube thing. When should a small investor invest for best return in PulseX sacrifice? There's two things you care about, in my opinion. One is, what is the rate? So right now everyone's getting the same rate until January 10th when it ticks up. And then what is the value of what you're sacrificing? And so the value of what you're sacrificing goes down, you're going to get less points. And so if the value goes up, you're going to get more points. And so there's this question is, so I think I'm bearish on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think they're going to go down. Now look, I don't have a crystal ball. I did call the top on the day, and I have done that more than once, I think. So that's pretty cool. As far as picking a day goes, man, I just know that on day 47 days after January 10th, the rate is going to be 10x higher, which means you're going to have sacrificed 10x more USD value to get the same points. And you get 10,000 PulseX per point. So I think earlier is better. It's my gut feeling. That's my gut feeling, is that earlier is better. Richard, can you do a stream with one of your devs? I have a better idea. How about I let them keep doing dev? Because this like giving away free knowledge on YouTube stuff, it ain't actually that profitable, right? You know, no one's actually making money on this. So doing dev is something that is the most amazing thing a person can do. Why would I pull them off that to talk to you guys? Come on now. That'd be the exact opposite of what I'm going to do. Pull a dev off of doing dev for anything. Nope. I'm not pulling a dev off of doing dev for nothing. Nothing. Do I think David Schwartz is Satoshi? 100% not. How well will PulseX do once it launches? I think it's going to do really well. Really, really well. I mean, go read the website. I mean, it'll be the most liquid. I think it'll be the most liquid on-chain exchange in the history of on-chain exchanges ever in history. If you look at it from the perspective of percentage of coins as liquidity versus total supply. Because Sushi and Uni are getting emptied into a single thing. And, you know, Sushi has like 60%, or Sushi has 30%, Uni has 60%. And so it's going to be a massive amount of liquidity compared to total supply on the Pulse chain. And I think it's going to have really great features. Once again, guy that sacrificed mana and engine, if those things are liquid, I would like to see you be able to get credit for the actual kind of liquid value of the stuff. So if they're liquid, hopefully you'll be okay. I don't know why I'm dropping frames. Like, my connection is not as good as I prefer. Chris Baker says, Richard, we DM'd months years ago. You've not only changed my life and allowed me to retire, but my daughter officially got early acceptance to MIT, and I'll be writing the tuition check with Hex Gains. So glad to hear that, man. Congratulations, Chris. Hey, dude, thank you for giving your brilliant projects to the world. Do you think that higher dimensional beings exist? I don't care. It's similar to knowing the past existed. Yeah, cool. And what can I do with it? Or something's happening so far away that I can never interact with it. Great. You might as well be reading, like, fiction. Doesn't matter. I care about the things that are here and do matter. This may seem like a silly question, but is there any difference between having billions and hundreds of millions as far as quality of life? No. There's not. Fong Vablong says, in all caps, so should I do, sir? If I don't have the unique address, I can show proof. How much you want to bet Fong Vablong sacrifice? Like $5. Fong. The last sacrifice phase had 80,000 unique addresses that sacrificed. Now, I've dedicated a couple minutes to you. For fun, let's just take a couple minutes times 80,000. Or let's just say 25% duty cycle. Let's say 20,000. So let's say 5 minutes times 20,000. 100,000, right? Now, what are the chances that you could try and by the way, like, yeah, there's legal issues here as well. This is not just like, anyway. So that's 100,000 minutes. And then an hour is 60 minutes. That's 1,600 hours. And then 8-hour days, that's 208 days, full duty cycle. If you gave 20,000 people 5 minutes every time and didn't have any transition time between other people. Bro, I don't know how I can help you, man. I don't. I'm not going to have you emailing me communication with your exchange. Like, I'm not. So, yeah, I don't think you can be helped, man. I'll rack my brain, but I don't think there's a solution for it. The LV teddy bear may give the duck a rest one day. Nice. The connection is trash. Sorry about the connection, guys. Do you think that the bot will make people to withdraw their coins out of the pool? Well, if you don't tell them the exact block height at which the fork is happening, they would be less likely to try and game that system. This man in engine guy is just hammering chat no matter how many times I answer. Nigel, how many more times do you want me to answer, bro? Maybe I'm so far behind. Yeah, I'm 14 minutes behind. Do you think I should take a loan and sacrifice? Will I ever recover my loss? Do I look like a financial advisor, man? I'm not, okay? And I don't think any financial would be qualified to give you advice on that. Now, look, you could try and past performance is no indicator of future performance, they say. Kind of seems to invalidate the concept of trends. But, I think that depends on your time horizon. So Hex has made a new all-time high every 6 months, no matter what, and historically has doubled roughly every 2 months. It used to be 47 days, but I don't remember the exact time, so I'm just going to say 2 months to be more safe about it. So in that, like Hex, it seems like statistically, if you had a longer than 6 month investment horizon, there's no way you could have lost, depending on, liquidity and things like that. But it's unlikely you're trading hundreds of millions. So, yeah, you do you, man. My imagination, Mr. Amir Barami, is that a person that's asking me that type of question doesn't really have that much money to start with. So, but with that kind of name, you might live in a country that has debtor's prison as well. So, I don't know, man. I'm just going to dodge that question entirely. How do we buy a pulse chain during mainnet if we don't have pulse to use as a gas fee? Got to have someone give you some, dude. That's the only way that works. I haven't had a chance to look over all the coins yet to see which ones should be added and things like that. I appreciate you guys. One or two of them. Yes, you can sacrifice more than one time. This Nigel dude's still hitting it. He's dedicated. Are squats and lunges part of your morning routine? No, it's just chin-ups and push-ups. But we'll get to deadlifts. I'm not going to do squats. I don't care. It's not doing it. Mr. Hart, it's Fong who spam you live. Please, sir, I can prove. Cool, man. This is another important part of the having no expectation of work of others thing. Sir, I have made mistake. Now you must make emergency. Now everyone else that would have benefited from your time must get screwed because I make mistake. And always in broken English and always in all caps. Every time. It's like, Yes, you can sacrifice BNB via BEP20. It's fine. Hope the bear uses Lalo hex. That's a condom with hexes all over it. It's pretty funny. This stream, man, I'm getting dropped frames and I'm getting noise. It's like, god darn. So many other good things going on in life or I'd be angry. Been through a rough year, but getting in Hex has kept me positive and actually looking forward to the future like never before in my life. Thanks, Richard. Much respect. Keep killing it. Glory will be yours. Thank you, Nick Green. Oh my God, am I caught up? No. I was so far behind that it just deleted all the comments again. Richard, your watch is for sale? No. Is this even life? Ask him to say banana. Congrats, dude. I guess their name's Laura, so. Love your watches, but vintage is the way to go. No, it's not. Vintage looks crap, mate. Every time I look in like a pawn shop, it's full of ugly vintage watches. No thanks. Still dropping frames. Oh, if you guys want to see me on other stuff, look, if you want to see me on BitBoy, like, ask him to have me on. I don't know. The shirt is very fresh, boss. Thank you so much. Will everyone that's staking Hex have the same amount of P Hex or Hex on the Pulse chain when Pulse goes live? Yep. Can you comment on the advantage of selling stables and buying Hex to sacrifice rather than sacrificing stables? If you buy Hex and Hex goes up, you win. If you buy Hex and Hex goes down, you lose. If you sacrifice stable, you're not exposed to the volatility. I think the best day to sacrifice, I heard, I haven't verified it, but it doesn't sound wrong. Somebody said that the best day to sacrifice on the last sacrifice days was day 3. And I don't know whether this is day 3 or not. You'd have to go see when I made the announcement. And you'd have to go check that. I would go check whether the best day for last sacrifice was really day 3 or not. I think guys that are watching that would be in t.me/hex trading. I think they'd have a good handle on when the best day to sacrifice was. PulseX is not Pulse Chain? No. Pulse Chain is a fork of Ethereum. PulseX is a fork of Uniswap. Mitch Grant says, in all caps, can I sacrifice all the non-English speaking people in the chat? How do I get my Pulse Chain? Well, you could sacrifice for PulseX, get your free PulseX tokens and swap them for Pulse Chain tokens before the bridges launch, when mainnet launches, hopefully 2 months from now. But software estimates are hard. I've never gotten one right yet as far as time goes, so. Richard, I came across you weeks back. I'm now an official Hexican. Just sacrificed Hex for PulseX. You're an amazing dude. Huge vibes. A man for the people. God bless, mate. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate that. Will there be 1.75x flat? Yes, at the last 5 days, but the price will be 9.9x higher on the last of those 5 days. And so it's probably, it seems like not the right time to sacrifice. This is similar to the hello admin meme. 3 skull emojis. Didn't even know those existed. Hey, dear sir. I've emergency unstaked some Hex and never received transaction. It shows 0 in both columns under unstaked. So you mean you clicked the emergency unstake button that has in bright red and yellow, do not do this, and like blinks or scrolls at you. You did that. I hope you're trolling, dude. T-Fuel can be sacrificed, yes. Silicon Theta. Kusama, I don't know. I'll look into it. Thank you, Richard. You deserve a Nobel Prize. Thank you. Richard, you look like a rock star. Thanks. Love me some deadlifts. Richard, you need kettlebells for your morning wake up. Meh. Can you do a faucet for free pulse coin drop, like just cheap amount so we can move money over to mainnet? I mean, dude, really? Like, you don't have any Ethereum? Because if you have any Ethereum, that's going to come over as Pulse on the Pulse chain. So, like, I find it hard to believe you ain't going to have no Ethereum, man. I think you're going to be fine. I don't think you actually need a faucet. Pull-ups? I do 12, but I'm doing them with my legs on the bar. I don't know how many I could do without the legs. Used to be 5, but I haven't tried it in a bit. Laura Bigsby asked me to say banana again to prove that it's live because she has no attention span and I guess missed the last time I did it. Because I'm only 7 minutes behind now. Was Matic hacked or not? No, it wasn't hacked, but it could have been hacked for something like 24 billion. But then they caught it and had a fork before anyone noticed. That's Polygon Matic I'm talking about. If you go to twitter.com/RichardHartWin, you can see the notice about that. Sir Richard, are you okay? You look high. I'm tired, bro. I've been working, doing stuff. Get a mirror sometime. Put in a long day of work and then look at yourself. Give it a shot. But Richard, why do you get so angry at people on stream? Am I caught up? Oh my God, I'm caught up. It's a miracle. Dropping frames like crazy. Trash. Sorry about that, guys. Explain how you set up hex to burn people's stakes away if they don't end on time. There's a good accounting function that's public that anyone can run on an expired stake that withdraws the expired shares and pays the penalties to the pools that deserve it. So, for instance, the stakers. Yeah, that's it. You can't rob it because it already knows what's being transferred to where. You can't do that in Uniswap because it needs routing. The routing is chosen offline. If it was chosen online, it'd be very easy. Maybe I didn't catch up because I see about 1 million messages right now. Can PulseX do 100x? Why wouldn't, what's wrong with 10,000x? Why can't it do that? Seems fair. It's well within the realm of possibility. Hex did it, Ethereum did it, Bitcoin did it. Richard, how can I increase my IQ to genius levels? You can't. Sorry, bro. It's genetic. Hi, Richard from Venezuela. I'd like to send you. Oh, I think this guy was trying to talk trash. Why don't you brag about how you set up Hex to burn people's stakes away if they don't end it on time? He's trying to think that a feature that we love is somehow bad or evil. No, that's a feature, man. The people that did what they said they were going to do are rewarded by the person that lied about what he was going to do. It's called the truth engine. The liar benefits the truthful. Sorry for your loss, Asa Walker. I hope that you become more intelligent. Probably need to watch more of my streams. If you participated in the Pulse sacrifice initially and were a very limited means, as I, would you personally consider it an important thing to sacrifice again for PulseX right now? I think PulseX is going to do great. I think Pulse is going to do great. I think Hex is going to do great. I don't know which one's going to do the greatest. If you ain't got no money, you ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know your financial situation, man. You need to decide for yourself what's right for you. I'm from Bolivia. Thanks for everything. My pleasure. Do I speak Spanish? Yes. At the moment of sacrifice, blah, blah, blah. If rate is equal, why is it better to sacrifice on a particular day than another? It's based on the value of what you're sacrificing. So, like I said earlier, if what you're sacrificing goes up, you win. If it goes down, you lose. And I'm bearish on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Would you want to be holding those? They've been going down for months. So Richard, we miss you down in Miami today, man. Had a blast on those yachts with Hex Lion and 8-Bit Hex. Glad to hear that, Dylan Murphy. I squat. I don't like squatting at all. Hate it. Squatting is a form of exercise. Some exercises I like, some I do not. The Louis behind you is insane. Thanks, man. There's a surfboard back there, too, if you look close enough. Wakeboard? Asa Walker is still trying to talk trash about the feature of the truth engine, where the untruthful reward the truthful. Keep trying, Asa. Keep working, girl. Why don't you just make fun of my weight or my watches or something? You'd have a better chance. Because you just sound really silly right now. The value of the sacrifice coin is determined when they're sacrificed, yes. Do I have kids? Not telling you. Fong Blong says, I sent you a video of me login to my Binance exchange. Please take a look. I don't care, man. I don't care. I am not taking the responsibility. I'm not receiving 1 million people's videos from their exchanges. I'm not. You guys need to not screw up. I'm not here to make up for your screw ups. You sacrificed to a good cause. You supported freedom of assembly and freedom of movement. Congrats. That's it. That would be where I draw the line. If I start having to do retail end user customer service from people that can't speak English and receive videos from them, I would rather not be on this planet. I can think of nothing worse. Reading YouTube comments is bad enough. Hi, Richard Hart. I don't work for you. I'm not customer service. You do your job right. Don't screw up. Thanks. Can Pulse do 100x? Why not? I should get a rowing machine? Meh. Looking forward to the launch. Also take the time you need. More money that I can get to pump my bags. All right. Some of these comments, man, my God. Asa Walker again. Explain, please, why you set up hacks to burn people's stakes away if they don't end on time. Because they're sitting there diluting everyone else's payouts, and everyone else is getting paid less because they didn't do what they said they would and end their stake and remove their expired shares from the share pool. And so they deserve to be punished for screwing everyone else over and for lying about what they said they were going to do. And who gets rewarded? The people that did what they said they were going to do. If in another 3 or 4 minutes I see Asa spam my chat again, she ain't gonna make it. In all caps from Valentina Rose. I never received my Pulse Chain coins! How would you? How would you? Does the Pulse Chain network exist? How would you? Are you dumb? Yes, you're dumb. The network doesn't exist. How are you going to send coins on it? Dum-dum. How? Idiot. Sweet and Sour Hex keeps spamming this over and over and over again because he thinks he's smart, but he's not smart. So I'm going to read his comment, and then I'm going to tell you his comment's stupid. At the moment of sacrifice, and he's been spamming chat to death with this. At the moment of sacrifice, the best thing for everyone is to turn stables or any coin into hacks and instantly sacrifice. Lower supply, pump the bags, good for hexagons, very low volatility risk. How do you know it's very low volatility risk, man? How do you know? How do you know that? Because I don't know that. Prices move up and down. How do you know what the volatility risk is? You don't. You don't know. So yes, it's nice that Hex can go up in price easily, but it can also go down in price easily. And it's nice that historically it tends to go up, but man, it just dropped 85% 3 months ago. So like this like giving price advice on exactly what Hex is going to do and saying that it's of low risk, I don't agree with that. I don't know what the risk is it is going up or down, especially if it's time weighted in comparison to when you sacrificed. And I already explained very clearly, and I'll explain it very clearly again, if you're holding something that's volatile and it goes up in value before you sacrifice, that's great. It's better for you. If it goes down in value before you sacrifice, that's worse. And so if you sacrifice stables, you don't have the volatility risk. If you sacrifice things that aren't stables, if they go up, you win. They go down, you lose. And so he's just pretending that you can just get Hex and sacrifice it with little risk. But how is he qualifying little? How do you know it's little? I don't know that it's little. So, you know, if you want to take speculative risk and hope it goes up instead of down at the moment you're going to sacrifice it or within a time-weighted time, you can do that. And I think lots of people are, since, you know, let's go look at the numbers real quick here. PulseX.com. I see that there's about 150 million sacrificed, and of that, 110 million of it's Hex already. So it looks like the vast majority of people are already kind of accepting this dude's advice, maybe, or they've already been sitting on it before. You'd have to go look at when they got it, right? So there's 110 million in Hex sacrificed, and there's only 20 in Ethereum. And as far as stables go, there's only 12 in USDC, 3 in Tether, and 1.5 in DAI, which totals up to about 16. So there's 110 million in Hex, and there's only 16 in stable. I guess he's working really hard to get that last couple of percent because he wants his bags to pump, I guess. Anyway, I'm not comfortable making this like low volatility risk thing. I don't know what the volatility risk is. If it goes up, you win. If it goes down, you lose. I wouldn't put this little word in there. How many devs working for all my projects? Don't worry about it, bro. Is the value of the sacrificed coins determined in the price when they're sacrificed? Yeah, more or less. Should I delete Polygon network from my MetaMask? I don't care. I don't see why having an extra network there would hurt anything. When am I coming to Bolivia? No idea. Pull up some push-ups or money, bro. Thank you. I work for a crypto ATM company in the US. Would you be interested in pushing Hex in the Genesis ATM machines? You guys like making money? Hex has demand. You guys make high fees. I think you guys charge like 10% fee. So if you want something that has high demand and may make your users way more wealthy than anything else that you're giving them, yeah, you know, look into it. But you don't need anything from me to do it. What drives you to keep doing this for people when it clearly doesn't gain any profit or benefit other than helping others? I like helping others. It's the same reason I live streamed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I care about people and I want them to have a good life. Same reason I write free self-help books and do free self-help videos. Is there a bonding curve? Go on PulseX.com and read about it. Yes, there is. Is there a bonding curve? Go on PulseX.com and read about it. Yes, there is. You keep asking about what the nickname for PulseX holders is. I get it. I heard you. I don't know yet. This dude's still spamming the like pump Hex for him meme. Let's put him on timeout maybe. Timeout. There you go. God, I'm behind. The 76% fee that goes to the liquidity providers, how is that minted into new derivative liquidity provider token? Similar to how Pancake does, there's choices. There's different ways to do it. So the way that Sushi did it is they copied it from Yam, and the way that Pancake did it is they copied it from Sushi, and then we just have to choose the code. It's open source code. So, you know, the Sushi and the Pancake way, that part works. They've had hacks on other parts of their stuff, but that particular thing works. You look great, Richard. Love you and what you're doing for us. Thanks, Linda. Appreciate it. Did I sleep yet? I'm tired, man. Richard can get the Queen of England on board to knight you. Specifically, he said, Richard, can you get the Queen of England to onboard you by knighting you, and then you can onboard her? Okay. What's my babe situation like? Pretty good. I'm doing pretty good on that. Just haven't had a lot of time. What are my New Year's Eve plans? Probably work. We'll see. Do I need to do anything after I've sacrificed? Do I need to import the token of MetaMask? Bro. Ain't no tokens given to you for free until mainnet, bro. Months, bro. Killing me. Killing me. You get your free tokens when mainnet exists. Richie, you have the patience of Job. Bless you, man. Thanks. When I'm tired, it's like patience thin. Actually, why am I torturing myself? I don't see any reason to torture myself. So I'm going to scroll quickly. There better be some killer questions here. Show me a killer question. Yeah, guys that sacrificed unsupported coins. I already covered this. We're going to try and make up for your screw up by getting you a fair value. We're going to try. If what you sacrifice is liquid, it's way better for you. If what you sacrifice is illiquid, so if you not only sacrifice what you shouldn't have and it's illiquid trash, I don't like you. You did that. But if it's liquid, hopefully it works out. These questions are so funny. Jeff A says, what is a hypothetical return of $1,000 sacrifice today in 47 days from now? And where does one sell the asset? Well, man, your hypothetical return is 0 because you're sacrificing for freedom of movement and freedom of assembly. You're getting something for free. Congrats. And even that, you have no expectation of profit from the work of others. But even in that case, if you got your free token, and you're not going to have mainnet in 47 days. It ain't going to happen. You're not going to have mainnet in 47 days. You're not going to get your free token in 47 days. It's not happening. That's what your return on investment is, 0. Okay? You're not getting nothing. 0. Now, there were people that got Hex for free when Hex launched. And Hex went up 1,000,000% in 623 days. There's been a lot of other free tokens that have become very, 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 very valuable. Maybe PulseX could be a token like that. Could be. But your question still sucked. Terrible question. All these questions are the format. Will I be rich? Can I be rich? If I put in $100, how rich will I be? How many X will it be? We'll do 1,000,000X. We'll do 10,000X. Will I be a trillionaire if I give you $1? All these questions suck. All these questions are trash. Stop asking these stupid noob questions. They're dumb. Like, what? I don't know what the price is going to do. I do not have a crystal ball. I can tell you the last token that I designed went up in price 1,000,000% in 623 days. Does that mean my next token will do that? I don't know. Right? I know that it's designed well. I know that, do your own research, make your own investment decisions, make your own sacrifice decisions. Stop asking me if you're going to be rich and what multiple it's going to do. I don't know. Nobody does. Anyone that would answer that question is a scammer, in my opinion, because those aren't knowable things. See, look at this trash. Admin Tech. Richard, will you pump Hex so that Hexicans get more PulseX credit? Admin Tech, screw you, man. For the same reasons I just told the last guy to screw himself. What's wrong with you people? Like, my God. And then Craig Wadding says, Richard, you have the patience of Job. Bless you, man. patience wearing thin. My goodness. What is it? Can you imagine how stupid you would have to be to go into a YouTube chat room and type, "Am I going to get rich?" What? Is there a fortune teller here? I can't tell your fortune, man. It doesn't. Oh, hopefully I'm being trolled. Hopefully these aren't real people and they're not really typing that. Hopefully. Trolling me, man. God. At least no one's asked me if it makes me happy anytime soon. Hey, I've got $3 million to watch here, but does it make you happy, Richard? At least I haven't had that kind of control. That's a more intellectual troll. An empathetic, wishes they had as much as you type of troll. It's better than that will I be rich troll, I guess. I don't even know what this means, but it's funny, so I'm going to read it. In all caps, of course. Hey, Richie, question for you, my large gabagool. Can I sack directly from my nice hash wallets? I don't know what a nice hash wallet is, man. I got no idea. But credit for the Italian slang. What are the fourth token incentive token contenders? As far as the name, I haven't even thought about it yet, man. But this guy posted this terrible joke earlier. It was terrible then, but he waited long enough to post it again that I'll actually read it. It's still terrible now. Christopher Chavez says, I tried to pay an escort in Hex, but she was a lesbian and only accepted sushi swap. Terrible. Earlier today, I also made such a terrible joke, and I felt huge regret and should have just deleted it. But it was in private chat. I was asking one of my devs what if there's a technical name for the version of a domain name that doesn't have the www in front of it. So the technical term for the www is called canonical, or abbreviated as a C name when you're entering it in DNS zone records. And then, yes, this is a developer joke, and it wasn't very good. And then his answer was you could call it root or naked or a third one. And I was like, I would root that naked, or base. I was like, I would root that naked domain to the base. And it was a horrible joke, and I felt bad about it. And it is absolutely not funny at all. And it is as bad and not funny as your joke. Please never type that again. It's horrible. So we're similar in that we tried, but we both failed. Favorite hardware wallet? I have no idea. Definitely use an extra pin if you use one, though. Like the extra password, add the extra password. Yes, the value of your sacrifice is near the time that you do it. Did getting rich change your life for the better, or do you still have the same amount of stress? I would say more stress. Yeah. I think being poor is easier. But it depends on how poor, right? Like if you still eat fast food, you're good. But if you're so poor you can't eat fast food, man, that really sucks. If you're just, rice and beans every meal, that's hard. In before Mexican outrage. What are the joys you use to decompress? I actually think it's funny to read threads about people that hate me. And so I'll just go scan for some threads and some forums for people that absolutely hate me. I think they're hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.